Hello all, this is Al Finch. I'm here with my assistant Hand.
Hello.
We are going to play a special game today. This time we're going to be pitting a sealed deck from Edge of Eternities and Hand's special custom-made commander deck against a special Horde deck that we designed together. The Edge of Eternities deck I am going to build off-screen, but we can let Hand explain a little bit about his favorite cards from his commander deck right now, and then I'll explain a little bit about our version of the Horde. Go ahead, Hand.
So, Kid Loki, which is this one, legendary creature, he's my commander, costs 1 mana, god, hero, villain. Each creature you control that you've put one or more +1/+1 counters on this turn has hexproof. Whenever you draw a card, or your second card, whenever you draw your second card, or each turn put a +1/+1 counter on Kid Loki. Well, that's where Super Intelligence comes in, costing 1 mana. Enchant Aura, enchant creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, enchants creature controller. That player draws a card.
And how does that help Kid Loki?
Well, whenever you draw your second card, each turn put a +1/+1 counter on Kid Loki permanently.
Alright, so they are a good combo.
I get more and more cards each turn, plus he gets pluses each turn, which goes into the basilisks collar. Artifact equipment. Equipped creature has Death Touch and Lifelink. He slowly grows each turn, over and over again, and Death Touch allows him to Death Touch stuff, and Lifelink, which allows him to heal. It costs 2. I have Frozen in Ice. A shout out to our previous video, Super Intelligence Kid Loki and Frozen in Ice all come from the superhero set where we defeated gods. It's Frozen in Ice. Enchant creature, enchantment aura, costs 2 colorless and 1 blue. When this enchanted aura enters, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature loses all abilities and can't become untapped. Mere Progenitor costs 3 colorless. Artifact creature, Mere. 3 colorless, tap, put a token copy of Mere Progenitor onto the battlefield. So it can infinitely duplicate itself, making a big army, but you need a lot of mana.
Alright, so yeah, it was good that you shared some of your favorite cards from that deck. I should share a little bit about the Horde deck that we designed together. Most Horde decks are designed with zombie tokens, but we decided here we're going to be doing a Nature Horde. So some of the more common tokens will include the Wolf, a 2/2 vanilla creature, the Beast, a 3/3 vanilla creature, Birds, which are 3/3 flying creatures, and Oozes, which come in with star. For some variability, what we do is when an Ooze comes into play with this deck, we would take a 6-sided die, roll it, and then put it on there, whatever the result might happen to be for its power and toughness. We'll be playing with a modified set of Horde rules. I'll go into those in a little bit more detail when we're ready to play, but the basics of it are the Horde creatures are tokens for the most part. You reveal cards from the top of the Horde deck until you reach a non-token card. You put all the tokens into play and then you cast that card. It should be an interesting game. Now, what we'll do is we'll step aside. I'll take a little bit of time to open up the packs from Edge of Eternities. I'll show you some of the highlights from each of the packs, and then we'll get to playing the game. So when we return, we'll do some unboxing on the Edge of Eternities cards, do a quick review of what's in there, then we'll go and play with our respective decks against the Horde. Alright, here I am back with my Edge of Eternities pre-release pack. I'm going to be using this to make a sealed deck with which to fight the Horde. We'll open up some of these packs and give us an opportunity to maybe see some of the highlights a bit ahead of time. I've very much been looking forward to playing with the Edge of Eternities deck. I didn't get a chance to attend the pre-release, but now we'll get some of these cards, which I hear the set was quite good. All right, we've got our typical die and some tips, which I won't use, and divider. Let's see what my pre-release card is. All right, so let's see. Biotech Specialist. Red and a green mana to cast. Creature Insect Scientist. When this creature enters, create a lander token. It's an artifact with spend 2 generic mana, tap, sacrifice this token, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent, so some self-synergy. And it's a 1 power, 3 toughness creature. All right. Well, we'll get to opening these packs now. See what some of the highlights are from in here. All right, first pack. Okay, so for the rare in the first pack, we have the Famished Worldsire. 8 total mana cost, 5 generic, 3 green, a creature Leviathan. Ward 3, Devour Land 3. As the creature enters, you may sacrifice any number of lands. It enters with 3 times that many +1/+1 counters on it. And it's a 0/0 to start with. When this creature enters, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is this creature's power. Put any number of land cards from among them onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. All right, you lose some lands, you gain some lands. Bigger he is, well, the more risky a play. Yeah, we'll consider that. All right, next pack. The Warmaker Gunship. When it's a 2 generic mana and 1 red to cast. Artifact Spacecraft. When the spacecraft enters, it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you control to target creature and opponent controls. And it has Station. Tap another creature you control, put charge counters on it equal to its power on this spacecraft. Station only as a sorcery. It's an artifact creature at 6+. And once it is stationed fully, it has flying, and it's a 4/3. I got a Planeswalker, and a colorless one at that. That's interesting. Tezzeret, Cruel Captain, comes out for 3 generic mana. Legendary Planeswalker, Tezzeret. Says, whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. Spend 0. Oh, and he comes into play with 4 loyalty counters. Spend 0, untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Spend 3 loyalty counters. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. Or spend 7. You get an emblem with, at the beginning of combat on your turn, put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 robot artifact creature. All right, we're playing with some robots then. Okay. Cosmogoyf. 1 black, 1 green, creature elemental Lorgoyf. This creature's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to the number +1. And it has star and 1+ star as the power and toughness. All right, I gotta presume we're gonna be exiling some stuff in the set. Another Warmaker Gunship. So I don't need to read this one again, but I've got 2. Interesting. And what in the world? Looks like, oh, there's special guest cards in this set. I might need to go and take a closer look. Wandering Fumarole. Land. This land enters tapped. It's blue or red mana that you can tap for. Spend 2, a red and a blue until end of turn. This land becomes a 1/4 blue and red elemental creature with spend 0. Switch the creature's power and toughness until end of turn. It's still a land. That is a cool picture. I have to go back through and see if I've got any other special guests. Exalted Sunborn. So we have 2 white, 3 generic for its cost. A creature, angel, wizard. And another epic rare. All right. Flying Lifelink. 1 or more tokens would be created under your control. Twice that many of those tokens are created instead. So we got, what is that? Parallel lives on a creature here. And Warp. Spend 1 generic, 1 white. You may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost. Exile this creature at the beginning of your next end step, then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. So you can get it out there pretty quick. All right, let's see. Was that a rare on top of that? You know, this must have been before they changed all the packs and made it so that you couldn't get certain bonuses. Consult the star charts. 1 generic, 1 blue. Kicker, 1 blue, 1 generic. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. Put 1 of those cards into your hand. If the spell was kicked, put 2 of those cards in your hand instead, then put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. All right, that's kind of nice to get a double rare type. I'll take a quick look through this and see if there's anything that we missed, since there's these bonus cards. So there was another card hiding in there that's a surprise. Another rare that was actually in my Tezzeret pack. This one is a Genomorph Imago. 1 green, 1 blue. Creature, insect, druid. Flying. Landfall. Whenever land you control enters, target creature has base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. If you control 6 or more lands, that creature has base power and toughness 6/6 until end of turn instead. And then it's a 1/3 creature. All right, well, I'm going to take a look now at the rest of my cards, see what I can put together, and then we'll move into our actual Defeat the Horde challenge. All right, we are back. I have gone ahead and decided to do a red-green deck based on what I pulled earlier. We have already drawn our card hand 7. We won't draw on our first turn. The Horde deck, according to the rules that we're playing, is going to start with 20 of its 100 cards already in the graveyard, and we're going to have 30 collective life. We are going to be defending like a 2-headed giant game. We'll win the game if we can deck out the Horde deck. We do that by attacking it directly. Every point of damage mills a card into the graveyard. If the Horde ends up making any kinds of decisions, we're going to determine them randomly as best we can. All right, since this is Horde magic, we are also going to get 3 turns before it acts. So let's go ahead and play our first turn. I'm just going to lay a forest. Are you going to cast Kid Loki?
Kid Loki from the intro, 1 mana to cost. This is tapped. Legendary creature, god, hero, villain. Each creature you control that you've put down 1 or more +1/+1 counters on this turn has hex proof. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Kid Loki.
All right, and Kid Loki is your commander for your modified commander deck. All right, now it's going to be turn 2. We'll untap, draw, lay a land.
Chrome Companion costs 2 mana. Artifact, creature, dog. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. 2 mana and tap it. Put a target card from your graveyard at the bottom of its owner's library.
Yeah, that's a cute dog. Mine's not as cute. I have an intrepid tenderfoot, one generic and one green casting cost. Creature, insect, citizen. It's a 2/2 creature. Spend 3 generic mana. Put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Activate it only as a sorcery. Better than nothing. All right. Are you going to attack with Kid Loki? We'll mill a card off there.
Wolf.
All right. We'll get one more turn before it activates, so let's untap.
I will play Reach Through the Mist for 1. Draw a card. I'll draw a card. Nice. And I will use my Chrome Companion for 2 mana and tap it.
Okay.
So I won't be able to attack. And put it at the bottom of the owner's library.
Okay. And then you also get to put a +1/+1 counter on Loki, right? Because you drew 2 cards. He's not tapped yet, right? He untapped. And I am going to play. Then I'm going to play Tezzeret, Cruel Captain for 3 generic mana. He's a legendary planeswalker, Tezzeret. Whenever an artifact you control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. Spend 0 loyalty, untap target artifact or creature. If it's an artifact creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Mine isn't an artifact creature, but you've got one. So guess what? I'm going to untap him for 0. And that means you'll be able to swing with that guy too. Don't do it yet. Let me finish reading off here. He's got 4 loyalty. I could have -3'd him. Search your library for an artifact card with mana value 1 or less. Reveal it. Put it into your hand, then shuffle. Or if I ever get up to 7 loyalty, I could take 7 away. You get an emblem with at the beginning of combat on your turn. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it's not a creature, it becomes a 0/0 robot artifact creature. So, glad you got an artifact creature out. He doesn't have haste, though, does he? Oh, you put him out last turn. Cool. Okay, so now we can attack. You're going to attack with both of those? You want me to attack with mine, too, or should I keep him back as a blocker?
I'm not gonna block with Kid Loki. Neither of these 2 are not blockers.
Yeah, he's too cute to block, so okay, I guess.
No, he gains me life as soon as he becomes untapped. So we are now at 31 because you just untapped him.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't realize that.
Whenever this creature becomes tapped, you gain 1 life. So technically I tapped it twice, so we're at 32.
Is it whenever it
becomes tapped?
Becomes tapped. Thank you for clarifying. Because, yeah, I thought it was a becomes tapped thing, but didn't think about it earlier when you tapped him. So 32. Hey, that's nice. All right, so now you're attacking, and I guess I'm going to attack too. So we'll do 5, 6, 7. Seems good. Did you already mill?
We did not, so that is 5 plus
2.
7.
Yep.
1.
All right. Neither of us, I think, have anything more to do. So this horde is going to flip until we get to a non-token card.
Trample.
There we go. Stop there. So we got a 2/2 wolf, and we've got a 3/3 excavation mole. So it's trample. When it enters the battlefield, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. So this actually hurts the horde deck a little bit. So it loses 3. We built in kind of a little extra weakness here because, well, horde decks can be pretty tough when you're playing against them using limited decks. All right, and this is a 3/3 and a 2/2. They're going to attack us for a total of 5. So 5 from 32.
That's 27.
That's right, 27. All right. Now it's going to be our turn.
Thankfully, because of Reach Through the Mist, I gained a card.
Yeah.
I will draw. Good thing I got a land. I have enough things to play anyway.
You got anything to play?
Could play Beast or Atlas as long as you've put +1/+1 counters and Beast History is fine. Beast deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. He's a 3/3 blocker.
Okay, seems good. I think what I'm going to do is warp out, use social engineering. So warp is you may cast this card from your hand for its warp cost, this case 1 generic, 1 green. Exile the enchantment at the beginning of the next end step, then you may cast it from exile on a later turn. And it says landfall, whenever a land you control enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. I think it's useful to have artifacts, right? So I'm going to play my land now because I do have an extra land. We get the 2/2 robot, so attack.
Attack.
And are you attacking with Loki?
Yes.
Okay.
So that is
That's
5
5,
damage.
and then 2 more from my insect. All right, so you did a total of 7. Then I'm going to not adjust him. Okay, so he stays at 4. And then, and it says whenever an artifact I control enters, put a loyalty counter on Tezzeret. So he did tick up 1 because I did have an artifact come into play. So he's up to 5. And now I'm going to untap him. And we did gain a life, right? Because when he tapped...
Yeah.
So we're up to 28. And he gets another +1/+1 counter on him. So he can block. He'll be big enough to kill a wolf at least, right? Seems good. So one thing that I need to do is see who this attacks. It could attack us, or it could be attacking my planeswalker. We really do need to kind of assign it randomly. So this turn...
So I would say
you and I are 1 and 2, and 3 is the planeswalker. Okay?
Okay.
So we'll see who it's going to attack. All right, it's going to attack me. And now it's its turn. So we'll untap.
Wolf will attack me because...
Well, it doesn't matter. You can block on my behalf because
I have a 3/3
we're two-headed.
blocker.
We're two-headed giant. Don't tap him though, okay? Because I think when it's tapped like that, I don't think it's there. All right, it's playing Tangle Sap. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn by creatures without trample. So I don't think anybody has trample except for the excavation mole. So that kind of sucks. We can block the wolf, but nobody will kill it. And we could block the excavation mole, but it would kill whatever it goes over. This is going to attack. We can block the wolf, and it doesn't matter who blocks it, because they won't deal damage. And then we'll take 3 from the mole. That wasn't bad. At least it didn't get any extra creatures, right?
Yeah.
So those are tapped. We untap now and have another turn. Oh, this is now an exile.
I'm probably going to play Containment Construct.
Okay.
So if an artifact creature gets sacrificed, I can sacrifice him.
All right, that says when you Containment Construct artifact creature.
Whenever you discard a card, you may exile that card from your graveyard. If you do, you may play that card this turn.
Okay, it's only when you discard from your hand, not from the board. But let's see what we can do here.
I can play this fairy, Cloud Spirit.
Okay.
I'll be dealing...
So it's a 1/1 flying, and it can only block things with flying.
Yeah, so it's just a sacrificial pawn.
Yep. Going to put out a Roving Actuator. When this creature enters, if a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell is warped this turn, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard, copy it. Might cast the copy without paying its mana cost. None of that happened, but I'm not worried about that. I just want a 3/4 body that can block that giant mole without dying. But what we can do now is we can attack. Oh, and this went up by 1 because this was an artifact creature.
That's 3 plus 3. That's 6. 6, 8,
And then I'm gonna do 2 and 2, so
12.
12. So we'll flip 12. And now I'll activate Tezzeret's 0 ability. I'm gonna untap your little corgi so it goes up 1. So 3 + 1 + 1s, right? This is tapped, and this is tapped, right? Okay.
I have a 2/1 blocker and a 1/1 blocker.
Yeah, and a 5/4 blocker. So we're in pretty good shape. I bet we can eat most of the creatures that would come out of this deck. All right, you're all done. I'm all done, right? Okay, let's see what happens. All right, Greater Basilisk, Death Touch, 3/5. So can't eat him, unfortunately. Happen is this, okay? He attacks, he attacks, he attacks. We don't block him.
I'm intentionally
okay.
blocking him with that.
You block him with that. I'm going to block the Excavation Mole, which will die to the Roving Actuator. You'll block the Wolf with the Chrome Companion, which will die. Then, once combat is done, you can now spend 2 mana, tap it, put target creature in a graveyard on the bottom of your library. That's good. So you gained us another life, right? Right?
We were at like 26 before.
So
we healed 1, and I sacrificed a guy to a basilisk. This guy's death touch, so I'd rather stall, so we can find a creature that's like weaker that can block him and kill him.
Maybe we can kill him with some spells here. But anyway, let's untap. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a Warmaker Gunship, which will do couple things. When it enters, it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts I control to target creature and opponent controls. So I have 1, 2, 3 artifacts, so 3 damage to that. He's going to bump up to a 7, which is good, because now I can get that emblem, maybe. I'm not sure I want to do it yet. And then I'm going to play a Plasma Bolt, which will do 2 additional damage.
Killing the guy.
Killing the dude that we didn't want to deal with. And then now we can do our usual shenanigans. What are you going to attack with?
I can attack with these.
Gonna do everything?
Well, we can untap the dog later too.
Alright, so how much damage then?
So that's 2 + 5.
And we do go up by 1 this time, right?
That's 8 + 3, that's 11. That is, no, not 11. 12.
Alright. And I'm going to go ahead and hit for another 4. And I think it'll be good to keep
15.
These guys back. I may end up using the actuator to bump this guy up. He has a 6+ crew cost, so if I can tap this thing twice, this thing will turn into an actual creature. All right, so 16.
16.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and tap the actuator, so that'll level this guy up to 3. And then I am going to use Tezzeret to untap your corgi, because you seem to like him growing. And now he's got 4 counters on him. That one says 4, try that one. There we go. And I think That's all we can do. All right.
Correct.
Let's see what happens. Well, 3/3 flyer, 2/2 wolf, 1/1 sapperling, and destroy global enchantments. No global enchantments, so it doesn't matter.
I have no enchantments.
So these are going to swing in.
I have instants and sorceries.
You can't block that guy, but we can block him.
I can block. Oh, this guy can block.
He's tapped.
Oh yeah.
So
only
your
flying.
corgi can block the wolf, and then we'll take 4. Sound good?
Yep.
Oh, we need to find out actually if they're going after Tezzeret. I need to remember that. So 1, 2, or 3. 1, 2, he's 3. All right, it's going after me. So anyway, we take 4 damage. So we're down to 24. However, that's going to change because it's now our turn.
By the way, we tapped the corgi.
Yep, so we're at 25.
Ooh, I just got a duplicator. I only have 6 mana, which is just enough to do this. I will play Mere Progenitor, cost 3 mana, artifact creature, Mere. 3 mana, tap it, put a token copy of Mere Progenitor onto the battlefield. 1/1.
Yeah, you can't use him right away, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
I am going to play the Memorial Team Leader, which is a 4/3. It says, during your turn, other creatures I control get +1/+0. So they're all
Technically,
bigger.
I can have 2 mana left because I'll tackle the Silver Mirror. That means this guy won't matter.
Okay. So 4/3. I'm going to tap him to kick him all the way up to 6, which means he can attack. I'm going to swing for 5, 9, 12, 15. What are you doing?
I can swing for 6, 9, and 10, 12.
All right, so 27. We might actually deck it this turn. Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 26.
I thought we might deck him out.
We only decked it out 1-.
And I will untap your corgi. So it's a 5 +1/+1 counters on it now. All right. And
I have this flyer that can block the bird so he does nothing.
yeah.
And I can punch this creature to death until he dies by a 7 to the head. The Chrome Corgi got a giant buff arm and punched it to death.
Yeah. Well, so it could still potentially kill us. We have to get rid of the bird, and we can't block it forever. We just block it for a turn. So we need to finish the game and see if we can get rid of the bird. Okay. So this is tapped. That you blocked with, right? So we didn't lose anything. Okay. Are we at 26 because the corgi had tapped again?
Oh, I can tap to get this person back at the bottom of my deck. To tap the creature again.
Okay, so 27. All right, so it's going to be its turn. Actually, yeah, it'll be its turn. It attacked with the bird. It killed the fairy. Now it's our turn again.
I only have counter spells.
Yep, we got to figure out.
Oh my god, the creature's gonna die.
Yeah. You got something that you can use against
Giant Drake. Giant Drake dies.
All right, let's assume it's now its turn then, and the bird attacks into your Drake, and they kill each other. All right, so that's it. We managed to pretty handily win.
Also, because it dies, I draw a card.
Yep. And that would have pumped up Loki and things like that. So folks, just so you're aware, this is a heavily modified nature deck. We kind of custom built it together to make sure that it was actually something we could beat. I had a number of custom and more difficult tokens
like Captain Trips.
that could have been in there, but we decided to remove them because I was playing with a limited deck, and Hans deck is still in development. So
Almost finished.
yeah, some examples of things that could have been in there, but we decided were perhaps a little too much for us to handle, would have been something like this Omega Beast. This is a hand-crafted token, creature beast incarnation, 6/6, trample. As long as it's on the battlefield, all other creatures controlled by the Horde get +1/+1 in trample. So that would have made all of the other Horde creatures bigger. We have things like the Savage Stomper. This is another custom token. It's a 4/4. When Savage Stomper enters the battlefield, we destroy all artifacts, which really would have messed with my deck, all right, and taken care of your giant corgi alongside of it. Web Layer Spider, another custom. This one's a 2/8, and as long as it's on the battlefield, creatures with flying cannot attack the Horde or the Master of the Horde, so it keeps our flyers from attacking it. And if a creature with flying blocks the Web Layer Spider, that creature is destroyed. There's also a Feral Howler. This is kind of like the Feral Stomper, or the Savage Stomper, only instead it now destroys all enchantments that would have been on the field. Yes, there is a custom token that could have removed all creatures from the board if it came into play. Fortunately, you know, we weren't playing that at that level. All right, like I said, pretty happy with the way that went. So, ta-ta for now.
Bye-bye.